Imagine the wind sweeping across the barren, sun-baked Nevada desert. Out there, hidden behind miles of restricted airspace and armed guards, lies America's absolutely most classified mystery. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to dissect the truth, the myths, and the brilliant misdirection surrounding a place you definitely know but have never truly seen. Yeah, we're talking about Area 51. So let's dive right in and peel back the smokescreen.
You know, everything we're talking about today really stems from one singular, massive question. Are we alone in the universe? It perfectly frames the ultimate human fear, right alongside our deepest curiosity. Think about it. If we're completely alone in the infinite darkness, well, that's pretty terrifying. But if we find out we're not alone, that might actually be even more frightening. Who's out there? Are they more powerful than us? This restless curiosity is exactly what makes us all so susceptible to government smokescreens, and it's exactly what primed the American public for the wild events of the late 1940s.
So transport yourself back to the summer of 1947. Picture turning on the radio, and through the static you hear breaking news. On June 24th, an aviator named Kenneth Arnold spots 9 strange shining objects slipping through the sky near Mount Rainier. He actually sparks the term flying saucer. Then, just days later on July 4th, a farmer named William Brazel finds some really bizarre, unidentifiable debris on his land down in Roswell, New Mexico. The result? In just 2 weeks, public imagination completely caught fire, leading to over 800 civilian UFO sightings reported across the country. The craze had officially ignited. Now, what is absolutely fascinating here is the military's immediate reaction. The Roswell Army Airfield, or RAF, collected the debris and released a statement that literally shocked the world. They said the materials were not of this Earth and belonged to a flying saucer. Crazy, right? But then, the very next day, they completely retracted that statement. All of a sudden, they claimed it was just a standard weather balloon used for radar targets. This sudden, jarring shift in the official narrative, that's what planted the deep seeds of conspiracy. People just inherently felt the government was hiding something massive. And that suspicion gave birth to some incredibly heavy lore over the following decades. Enter Majestic 12. This was an alleged top-secret organization supposedly ordered by President Harry Truman in 1947, specifically tasked with investigating and, of course, covering up alien crash incidents. By the late 1970s, figures like retired RAF officer Jesse Marcel started coming forward. He kept insisting the weather balloon story was a total cover-up and that actual alien bodies were recovered. From that point on, the public's belief in a massive, coordinated government cover-up was pretty much cemented.
Section 1. Whistleblowers and the alien tech claims.
The story didn't stay quiet for long. It soon shifted from whispers in the desert to prime-time television. Let's look at these insider allegations. We literally have scientists and engineers stepping forward, putting their entire reputations on the line. In 1989, Bob Lazar made massive waves claiming he was hired on a government contract to reverse engineer alien spacecraft right at Area 51. Then we have microbiologist Dan Burish alleging operations involving alien virus cloning. And hey, this isn't just ancient history. As recently as 2022, an engineer named Bill Uhouse claimed he worked on anti-gravity propulsion systems in a highly classified sector called S4. They all consistently insisted America was quietly mastering extraterrestrial tech out in the desert.
And this next part brilliantly illustrates just how incredibly specific the lore became. Multiple whistleblowers, including Uhouse and Burish, independently highlighted this one recurring claim. They spoke of J-Rod. J-Rod was allegedly an alien entity actively working alongside human scientists at the base, communicating strictly through telepathy. I mean, wow. Whether it was fact or fiction, these incredibly detailed accounts seriously deepen the cultural mythos of Area 51, making it the undeniable center of the UFO universe.
Section 2. The Cold War smokescreen.
All right, let's peel back the onion here. Let's look past the flying saucers and telepathic aliens to what was actually happening out there in the Nevada desert. The true story is deeply rooted in the strategic necessity of the Cold War. In 1955, the CIA established the Groom Lake Test Facility, originally giving it the highly ironic nickname Paradise Ranch. This remote, 1,600-square-kilometer restricted zone wasn't built to house Martians. It was built to develop top-secret spy planes to counter the terrifying, very real nuclear threat posed by the Soviet Union. They desperately needed a place so isolated that literally no one could see what they were building.
And man, what they were building was mind-boggling for the time. 85,000 feet. That number right there is a major aha moment. To put that into perspective, in the 1950s and 60s, commercial airliners flew at about 20,000 feet. Military jets? Maybe they'd hit 40,000. But the secret aircraft being tested out of Groom Lake, like the U-2 and later the SR-71 Blackbird, they were flying at up to 85,000 feet and doing it at completely unprecedented speeds.
So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding how this massive technological leap created the smokescreen effect. Think about the contrast for a second. Civilians on the ground saw what they thought were glowing alien flying saucers hovering impossibly high in the twilight sky. But the classified reality? Because these spy planes flew so incredibly high, long after the sun had set down on the ground, it was still catching the silver wings of the U-2s and SR-71s way up in the stratosphere. Civilian eyes simply couldn't comprehend top-secret aircraft reflecting the sunset from heights they literally didn't know were possible.
And hey, remember the Roswell crash that started this whole thing? Well, in 1994, the Air Force finally declassified the actual truth behind that initial weather balloon cover story. The debris was actually from Project Mogul. This was a highly classified fleet of high-altitude balloons equipped with super-sensitive microphones, designed to float up and listen for the sound waves of Soviet atomic testing. It was a high-stakes Cold War espionage tool, not some interstellar transport vehicle.
Honestly, the pure brilliance of this cover-up is best summarized by this incredible quote. The CIA deliberately allowed the theory of aliens to run so that advanced spy aircraft programs are hidden in its yard. The government realized that the public's absolute obsession with UFOs was the ultimate cover story. I mean, why arrest people for snooping around your secret spy planes when you can just let them believe they're looking at spaceships? It was a calculated, brilliant misdirection to protect critical military advancements.
Section 3. Declassification and the Modern Phenomenon.
But as we all know, secrets really can't stay buried forever. Driven by relentless public pressure and the Freedom of Information Act, the veil slowly began to lift. It actually wasn't until 2013 that the CIA officially, on paper, acknowledged that Area 51 exists. They confirmed it was a testing site for the U-2 and Oxcart programs, while, of course, firmly denying any extraterrestrial encounters. Then, in 2017, they declassified a staggering 13 million pages of documents, including files on psychic phenomena and UFO sightings. And believe it or not, it wasn't until 2018 that the base finally appeared on Google Maps.
Yet, despite all these declassifications, the lore only grew. That leads us right into 2019, and this massive, absurd number, 3.5 million. That is the sheer scale of the RSVPs for the viral Storm Area 51 Facebook event. And what sparked this whole modern craze? A wildly popular Joe Rogan podcast featuring none other than Bob Lazar, repeating his exact claims from 1989. The internet caught fire all over again.
The whole event was created by a 20-year-old student named Matty Roberts. His post famously read, "Storm Area 51, they can't stop all of us," suggesting people run like the anime character Naruto to somehow dodge military security. But, as he later stated, it was merely a joke. Unfortunately for him, when 3.5 million people sign up to rush a highly classified military base, the U.S. government doesn't exactly think it's funny. Roberts had to panic, cancel the event, apologizing to authorities as his internet joke spiraled into a massive national security headache.
And the military absolutely had to take it seriously. On the day of the event, about 6,000 people actually showed up. They didn't storm the gates, they mostly just partied out in the desert right outside the perimeter. But that little joke came with a staggering price tag, $11 million. That is how much the U.S. military was forced to spend on heightened security and local law enforcement just to ensure the safety and secrecy of the facility for that one weekend. The joke came with a very real, very heavy price tag.
Section 4. The Future of Secrecy. So, where does that leave us today? Even modern presidents have weighed in. From Barack Obama joking about the base but denying they're holding aliens, to Donald Trump discussing declassifying UFO records. Their neutral, yet intriguing comments ensure the base remains squarely in the spotlight as this ultimate symbol of global technological competition. While the public is still out there looking for flying saucers, defense analysts believe they know what's truly happening in the Nevada desert right now. The future focus is heavily on the next generation of combat, warfare space capabilities, artificial intelligence integration, and advanced autonomous weapon systems. The military is actively preparing for the future of human warfare, and they are doing it safely hidden behind the exact same alien rumors that protected the U-2 spy planes 60 years ago.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought to take away from this explainer today. If the alien rumors of the past successfully hid revolutionary spy planes that literally flew on the edge of space,
What will the next 60 years of secrecy hide? Are the greatest and most terrifying advancements at Area 51 already being tested right now, just waiting to be uncovered in the dark? Thank you so much for exploring with us. Keep questioning what you see in the sky.